Sorry about that. I have a cold, so I might stop this a few times just to sneeze. Right behind my light is all of my scissors and a little caddy. And then I have the decorative cork board. I keep a lot of useful things on that, like my color wheel, my pearls. And that's a booklet that we made at Ranger U with Tim Holtz. There's a Holly Berry house medallion I did, my map pack, a scene made by Char, a horseshoe from my horse Alex. And below that I have some little trays. These were to sell ink pads. I got those from Stamp Cabana when they went out of business. And this is where I keep a lot of my most used things, like my three most used ink pads, my splatter stamps, and my name stamps that I put on the back of my cards. Here's my actual work surface, and all it is a non-stick craft sheet from Ranger, and it's on top of a foam placemat. And you can see that coming through. I got that for 2 cents at Target one time. Makes a great work surface. This is the actual hutch. That is the top of my desk. And this is my messy part. This is where I keep all of my extra adhesives, matte mediums, gessos, things like that aren't paint. And below that, I keep some odds and ends, again more adhesive, stamp cleaners. Sorry, my cats are fighting. And this is where I keep most of my dewdrops. These are the mementos. Guys, come on. Then on top of my stamp desk is where I store my ink pads. My husband made these for me out of foam core. I have quite a few ink pads. This is the bulk of them. These are the ones I use most of the time. Then next to that is my entire collection of Prima flowers and my brushes. I recycle containers for those, so that's why they all look kind of different. Right below that is the opening to the hutch. This is where I keep my Distress ink re-inkers and my alcohol inks, some paint dabbers, things like that. All of my Tim Holtz stuff. I don't have a lot. These are my Posh Impressions unmounted stamps in a clear container. And on top of that is all my Stampin' Up! Stamps, and they too are unmounted. There's another bat. And then right below that I have extra scissors, blades, things like that. And then a lot of class stuff, pencils, X-Acto knives, bone folders, as well as the rest of my dewdrops, my Brilliance, and then my Versamarks. This is another side. These are all of my paints, some water, Goo Gone, things like that. And then above that is my pre-folded cardstock, my envelopes, and my ATCs. Behind my light, I'm going to move that out. On the other side below that I have all of my most used items, as well as my colored pencils, some adhesive, and then my address book. Next to that is my Morphe brush art markers, my Adirondacks, my heat gun, things like my iPod and my phone that I always keep in here, my Tattered Angel, Glimmer Miss, and the rest of my ink pads like my Brilliance, VersaFine, and my StazOn opaque pads. And then I have another ink pad holder up there that my husband made me. It's black. It holds my least used ink pads. Actually, there's some room to grow. Some more rulers. And then my most used paper trimmer. I have a larger one over here. This window's open, so I'm trying to avoid it. I'm going to close it here. I keep some extra trays down here, and as you can see, there's not flooring in this room. We had a pipe explode, so we are trying to decide what we're going to do in here. It's my crafter's companion tool. I'm going to close the window here. Okay, these are my stamps. Now all of my stamps are unmounted. I have a few mounted, you'll see those. Here's my slice tool and all of its accessories. Looks a lot messier than it is. Underneath that, I have some ongoing projects. Like right now I've been working on a lot of mini books. So this is a mini book that I'm working on. Got some envelopes in there. There's a few others under that in tag shapes. I got these for 50 cents at Michael's when they were closing them out. So as you can see, I have a labeler. I'm very into labeling everything. I keep that over here in these drawers. These drawers are pretty much office supplies, so they're not worth showing you. This is my mounts. I have a whole bunch of clear mounts for all of my cling stamps that are all on Easy Mount, as well as my clear stamps. This is how I keep my clear stamps. I know there's probably a better system for them, but this is fine for me for now. There's all of those, again labeled. And then this is how I keep my mounted, well, my used to be mounted stamps, which are now on Easy Mount. I keep them on the sheets from Sunday International. I do them on both sides, and my stamps are very messy. Right above that is my scraps of decorative papers. Keep those there so I always have access to them. Here's my Carl trimmer. Here's my Copics. And I use the Chows mostly. I do have some sketch. You can see those off to the side. And my brand new airbrush system. Trudy from Club Posh sent me this for my birthday. It was just such an awesome gift. She's such a dear friend for doing that. Here's my Big Kick machine. My Crop-A-Dile Big Bite that I got for $10 at Walmart. Of course, my Cuddle Bug. And my Hot Pot. Right next to that, in these recipe boxes, is where I keep all of my Cuddlebug folders. I have them all labeled with their name, and I keep them by collection release, and of course that one doesn't want to go back in, so we'll just set it there. Here's all of my extra plates, and these are on top of my custom stamp cabinets. And I had 2 of these made quite some time ago by a gentleman that lives over in the Daytona Beach area. And right next to that are my Alex drawers. I got 2 of those at IKEA. Very inexpensive. They hold a lot. I'll be showing you those. Right above that is my ribbon. I don't have a lot of ribbon. And I keep all of my bits and pieces of ribbon right above my chipboard in one of those little pails. This is a gel container. My husband uses a lot of gel for his hair, so he gives me those. I clean them out, and that's where I keep all of my fabric flowers. Just covered it with some decorative paper. And then these are my original stamp cabinets. Again, these were made, I got these through an ad in a magazine at least 10 years ago. I have 2 of those. Keep some of my mounted stamps that I just haven't unmounted. And then on top of that is a whole bunch of